Don't play.
Thank you. Are we ready then?
We're ready.
Well, it's very muddy, as you can see. So we're playing up to our knees in mud and suffering for our art and everything else, you know. But no, it's going great, really.
Yeah, I mean, we spent most of yesterday and the early hours of the morning, you know, shooting a video for the Wicker Man. And we've come to this quarry out in the middle of outside Los Angeles, and the actual setting is perfect because we built. Well, we didn't, but the guys built this, a huge Wicker Man and stuff here, you know, which is part of the whole kind of concept for this song. And we set fire to it at the end of the night, and we've done lots of different shots for this particular song, and hence we're in this quarry at the moment with these balloons behind us, ready for the next scenario.
In case you're wondering, you know, what the balloons were.
The treatment for the actual video itself is phenomenal. Dean Carr's producing it and making the video for us, and he's come up with some terrific ideas for it. And we're on the second day of the shoot for the video, and what we've done so far has been definitely a labour of severe love for the art, if you like. It was freezing cold. I think it's probably one of the coldest days yesterday and nights in the history of LA. Well, it certainly felt like it to us all last night. So we kind of soldiered through that, but it's just been phenomenal.
When you find a place and you're doing your thing, if you notice that I'm trying to get real close to you, don't be worried about backing off. I want you to like keep your footing in that place, and I'm gonna like come all the way up your body and go over your head and stuff like that. But we like to get really close with this without getting any camera shadow, of course, but don't fear the camera.
Okay, we set?
Okay, let's do it. Your time will come. Rocket over.
This guy in the story gets taken by Eddie. He's an unsuspecting guy. He's driving his car and he's driving down the street, and Eddie's in the middle of the street, right in the middle of the night. This guy's half asleep, probably very drunk, who knows. And based on this pagan ritual where they take these people and they kind of made a burnt offering to the Wicker Man. And I guess it's loosely, well, I gather it's based upon that.
It's a great big, basically sort of symbol of pagan ritual, which you would burn. And basically it's just like a huge figure made out of whatever they could get hold of, usually wood and bits and pieces. And then they would just, people would dance around it and burn it and all that kind of wonderful stuff.
Maiden's a worthwhile thing to have around, you know, fully functioning, you know, firing on all 6 cylinders. It represents something that's actually really quite unique in that it's a band that has never compromised, you know, regardless of whether or not things in music have changed in terms of fashion one way or the other. Maiden has never compromised.
I think we fulfilled the expectations. I think the tour that we did was an amazing tour, and the people who came in seemed to enjoy it. And I think this album is going to exceed all the expectations. In fact, I'm sure it will.
Maiden's about being kind of spiky and different and not conforming to anything, to anybody's set of rules. You know, I mean, we've done an album now which is, yeah, it's a sort of a metal album, but in many ways it's almost like a progressive album, you know. So that doesn't conform to a lot of the traditional norms that you would expect, you know. It's not, you know, it's not a death metal album, it's not a thrash metal album, you know. It doesn't have any rap music on it, you know. It doesn't conform to any of the things that are supposed to, quote unquote, be cool in the current environment. And because of that, it seems that we've attracted a whole bunch of people that now suddenly think we are really cool because we do what we want.
The recording of this album is fantastic. We had Kevin Shirley doing the production for us. Steve was really co-producing with him, as he has done on virtually every Iron Maiden. He produced the last 3.
You know, it's great working with the guy. I mean, he was like, his attitude, he's very positive, likes to get things done quick, which is nice, which is how we like it. And, you know, his attitude and the way he likes to record stuff, you know, like obviously with the 3 guitars now, he just likes to do stuff with, you know, getting straight in there, doing it as live as possible, which, you know, again suits us. And just, you know, he's got an edge to him, you know, like, and he's enjoyable to work with. It's just, you know, we get on very well together, very positive.
We had a few producers that we were looking at, and we met Kevin. We came to New York and met him, and we just liked him immediately. We liked his ideas, and we just felt he was right for this band. And it's not a question of saying somebody's better than anybody else. It's just the context of the band, and it just felt right. He felt like the right producer, and I think we've been proved right. I think this album, if anything, it fulfills the potential of what we had as 6 musicians, and I think we're very, very pleased with it. I think Kevin, he brought that to fruition. He actually got the 6ers in the studio, and he got the sound. He got it to sound how it should sound.
Early in the year, we were writing the album in Portugal, but we actually had some time set aside just before we went in the studio, where we worked the songs live. Whereas some of the last album was done, you know, we'd learn the song and do them in sections and stuff, and we went from A to B, we went straight in, rolled tape, played the song, listened to it, said, well, is that cool? Now let's go do this one again. Got the whole feel from start to finish, and that was it. So that was different in respect to the last 3 albums, in the way that the technique of constructing the song. And it was just fantastic.
Well, when Bruce and Adrian came back, I mean, it was, you know, first of all, we had to make sure that it was all going to work, which I knew it would anyway, because, I mean, I was in the band before, so it's not like getting someone new in and you're not sure if they're going to be all right or not. But we just decided it would be a good thing to go on the road and do some shows together and just get vibed up before we go in the studio, you know, sort of get a bit of excitement happening and stuff. And I think that was a really good thing.
Here's the chemistry of the band, the 6 players, you know, making something. That's like the identity of this band, you know. So, I mean, on this album, you know, there's a lot of heavy stuff in there, but there's a lot of melody in there as well. And there's some like classical type pieces. So musically, this is probably, you know, we've really stretched and pulled all the stops out for this album. I think musically and progressively, it's probably, you know, one of the important albums we've ever done, really.
Yeah, I don't think there's that many people doing the kind of stuff that we do anymore. You know, I think there's a certain element that really couldn't make this album, and I think we have a duty to make the kind of album that we potentially could make from a musical point of view and from the songwriting capabilities within the band, and I think we've done that. I feel we've done it anyhow. I think it's classy, it's mature, it's heavy, it's aggressive, it's got lots of melody, and it's something I'm really, really proud of.
We are quite happy to take on, you know, any band on the planet at any stage. And if I didn't think we could do that, I wouldn't be here doing this now and shooting the videos and making the records and everything, you know. I think we've got a real world-class, world-beating record and the best heavy metal band in the world. There is none better.
There's some stunningly strong songs on this album, and I think once you've heard it, you'll agree with me. Because if you don't, I'll sort you out, all right?
The tours we've done have really come stronger again, and you know, I think this tour is going to be, you know, mega. It seems to be the vibe and the buzz about that's going on, you know.
We're going to tour on this album, with this album, and it's going to be very, very special. The Wicker Man's going to be there. Eddie's going to be there in all of his splendid glory. And we got some fantastic surprises that we've already know what we're going to do. But I can't tell you them because they won't be a surprise then.
Some of the shows we've got like Korn and, you know, people like that on the bill, and some of it's like Anthrax. Rob Halford's coming out because he's doing a new metal record. He's going to be on a lot of the stuff as well. We've got Slayer on some of the shows too. So it's really it's a whole across. We've got everything from like the weirdest Norwegian black doom death metal band to like, you know, the hippest young things. So really it's just pick a band, pick any band, and they're touring with Iron Maiden, which is great because, you know, I would hate to think that any of those bands could go on and say, you know, we could kick their ass, you know, this is great. Now they have their chance.
Historically, the band's always gone out and put on, you know, the biggest show we can really, and working around the concepts of the album, you know. So this tour is going to be, yeah, probably one of the biggest tours we've actually done as far as that goes. But you know, you have the huge stage set and everything, and obviously you're focusing on the music as well. So we always, you know, bring the best of both worlds to the live performance.
There will be a very big stage production. I mean, last year's was pretty big, but we've been sort of keeping our powder dry for something this year, because we want this to be, you know, really, really special. This is, I think, going to be the biggest Maiden tour there's ever been, in terms of the number of people we're going to play to and the countries and everything else. And I think that the album shows every sign of being the biggest Iron Maiden album there's ever been as well, in terms of sales. So it's pretty exciting. It's not bad, really, for a band that's been going for as long as we have, to get back together and suddenly, you know, kick everybody's ass. I mean, that's, you know, and not do it on anybody else's terms.